The absolute best and the most efficient way to use your credit card points, in my opinion, is to book premium business or first class flights. And in today's video, we're going to be going over all the available options to the most popular destinations available in 2025 and in 2026. This is going to be for destinations like Tokyo, Seoul, Madrid, Barcelona, Paris, the UK. We're going to be going everywhere that's pretty popular. We'll also be going over how many points you need to book these flights, which credit card currencies convert to these airlines, and how to earn points fast so that you can actually book these flights in general. So let's get into it. Destination 1, LA to Tokyo. Let's get this one out of the way. I feel like literally everyone wants to go to Japan right now. The good news is that there is a very reliable way to book business class flights with credit card points, and that's going to be with Cathay Pacific. Found this flight right here from LAX to Haneda. It's only going to cost you 86,600 Asian miles for Cathay Pacific or 86,600 credit card points. Now, the thing about booking flights to Tokyo is that they are so in demand, so you have to be really on top of it. Cathay Pacific released their flights 360 days in advance, and they do it right at 12 a.m. Japan time or Tokyo time, which equates to LA 8 a.m. So you have to wake up at like 7:55, log in, and keep refreshing the page until you find that business class flight. It's not so much the case in the summertime. So right now, for example, July to July, there's a lot of flights in July for next year. But when it comes to things like October or April or December or January, you got to be on top of it. You're going to be competing with a lot of people here. So let's say you wanted to go to Tokyo business class in October of 2026. Well, on that specific day, you better wake up at 7:40 or 7:45. Make sure all your points are already transferred into Cathay Pacific. Get your passport information out and book it as soon as you see it come out, which is going to be right at 8 a.m. Pacific time. This is how I literally got 2 first class tickets for my friends right here, flying Cathay Pacific, partnered I think with Japan Airlines, because Cathay Pacific is partnered with Japan Airlines. And I think this is them right there enjoying their first class flight. And yeah, we did this by doing that same method, waking up early and booking it as soon as it was available. And I believe Cathay Pacific only releases 2 per day. So for you and your partner, it's not going to be possible for more likely than 3 or 4 people. But if you're traveling with a group of 2, it is definitely possible to get these business class flights. But any group higher than that, most likely you're not going to be able to get these flights. And now the thing about Cathay Pacific too is that LA is going to be the major hub. So if you're somewhere on like Dallas or even like New York or Boston, you're going to want to try to find your way to LA first, because these are where the flights are most available. And in the East Coast, they're not really that available in my experience. I'm sure you can still search it, but I think there'll be more than it'll be 115,000 points, not 86,000 points. So you would have to pay 30,000 points extra per person to book these flights. So if you simply go from LA, they're going to be 30 to 40,000 points cheaper per person. Now you can do this with ANA as well, which can transfer from Amex. But ANA is literally impossible. You're competing with way too many people here. Yes, it's half the cost. It's like 150,000 points for a business class or first class, I think, round trip. So it's 75,000 points each way, but it's impossible to book one of these flights. There's a whole method. You have to book a round trip flight, and you're just not most likely not going to get this flight. To transfer to Cathay Pacific, you're going to need Amex, Capital One, or Bilt. These are the 3 major credit card companies that transfer to Cathay Pacific. But the good news is that Amex and Capital One have really high sign-up offers, so you can earn these points fast, and you can get 2 business class flights pretty easily. With just 1 sign-up bonus. For example, the Amex Platinum card right now is offering 175,000 points after spending, I think, $8,000 in 6 months, and 175,000 points is exactly 2 of these business class flights from LA to Tokyo. Venture X card gives 75,000 points after spending $4,000 in like 3 months or something like that. And the Gold card gives you 100,000 points after spending $6,000 in 6 months as well. So you get another 175,000 points if you can manage to hit all 3 of these sign-up bonuses, and that's going to be for your flight back. Let's say from Osaka or Kyoto back to LAX. That's one of the major destinations as well. But once again, to book that, you're going to have to, compete right on the day that you want it, 360 days in advance. So by hitting all these sign-up bonuses, which I know is kind of a stretch, but it is still possible, you can hit 2 round-trip business class flights, basically just on the house from all these sign-up bonuses. Yes, you did have to spend for it, but it's going to be way cheaper than booking it with cash. And I think it's totally worth it to go through all these hurdles for that business class seat. especially because 2 round-trip business class flights would generally cost $5,876 each flight for round trip. So that would be $11,752, which is there's no way I'm paying that for just a flight. So for 346,000 points, you can get $11,752 in value. And that's why I think credit card points are so crazy. So I'll make sure to put all my links for these awesome sign-up bonuses down in the top comment of this video and in the description, but only use them if it's the highest possible offer. For example, the Platinum card is going to be 175,000 points. The Gold card is going to be 100,000 points. The Venture X card is going to be 75,000 points. These are all my friend and family's referral links. So if you do use them, I would be very thankful. And I'm sure they would be very thankful as well. Destination 2, New York to Paris. Another travel destination that people always want to go to is definitely Paris. So let's take a look at some of the options here. Generally, New York one-way business class to Paris is going to be the absolute cheapest way to get a one-way business class flight, and it's going to be with Air France. Air France has a ton of availability for these 60,000 point offers plus $243 in taxes, and that's insane. 60,000 points for a one-way business class flight. That's a really, really great deal. And the great thing about Air France is that you can see the entire calendar, and you can see that there's like literally like 5 to 10 of these per month, all the way to like 2026 next July. So just go to the Air France website, log into the account. If you don't have an account, just make an account and then log in. And all you have to do is go to redeem miles, go to your destination, New York to Paris, for example. Don't put a destination date down because then you can see the entire calendar view for the entire year, and make sure to toggle on business class. And you can see all the available business class options with that green 60,000 point offer. I'll put it right here. This is kind of what it looks like. And that's how you know that you can book these flights for only 60,000 points each way, which is a steal. When I do this on my computer, I can literally see that each month offers at least 5 of these flights, which is insane. So it's pretty flexible. You can work your way around it. And yeah, you can get these business class flights pretty easily as long as you have around 120 to 240,000 Amex or literally any credit card point, and you can book these flights. So that means for 2 round trip flights for you and your partner, that would only cost you 240,000 credit card points and $972 in taxes, which is pretty amazing. By the way, each of these flights generally cost $3,683. So 4 of them would cost you the value of $15,452, which you could just book instead for only 240,000 points and $972, which is a much better deal. And literally all credit card companies transfer to Air France, like literally all of them. And the best part is every month there is always a transfer bonus to Air France. If it's not Amex, then it's Citi. If it's not Citi, then it's Chase. Literally everyone always has a transfer bonus of like 20 to 30%. So basically if you send 100,000 points, that turns into 130,000 Air France miles. Instead of sending over 240,000 Amex points, for example, if you can see that 20 to 30% boost, you would just have to simply pay 192,000 points or 168,000 points for 2 round trip flights, which is amazing. So yeah, you could potentially book these business class flights round trip for only 168,000 points plus $972. My tip is if you're trying to go to anywhere, literally anywhere in Europe or Spain, just go from the East Coast of the United States and go from Air France and just type in like Boston to like anywhere in Europe, and you will see these 50 to 60,000 business class flights like scattered around the entire year. So there's a ton of availability and there's always a transfer bonus. What more could you ask for? Destinations 3, 4, and 5, Boston to London, Spain, and Madrid. So using that same method as before, I just used any random East Coast city and I chose anywhere in Europe or Spain. In this example, I just chose Boston to, let's say, London. So I just go to Air France website, I log into my account, I type in Boston to London business class, no destination date so I can see the entire calendar, and boom, I found availability in July, August, December, and January. And once again, all of them are only 60,000 points for this business class flight. Oh, and this also works for Spain as well. I just did Boston to Barcelona, Boston to Madrid. And once again, 60,000 points are available in July, August, November, December of all of 2025. So to sum it up, if you want to go to Europe or Spain, simply just go from the East Coast, to anywhere in Europe and put business class, go to Air France, don't put the destination date down, and just look at all the available options that you have for 60,000 points. And don't go anything lower than 60,000 points. You should not book any of those 135 to 240,000 points for the same exact thing. Always try to go for the 60,000 points and 60,000 points only. And another tip I have with Air France is don't ever send your points unless there's a bonus, because you will literally see a bonus every single month from at least every other month to Air France for 20% to 30% boost on your points. So, if you're looking a year in advance, wait for that sign up bonus or that transfer bonus and then book the flights. There's so many flights available that there's no competition that you have to worry about. Destination 6, Boston to Korea. Now, I saved the hardest for last because flights to Korea business class are pretty difficult to find. There's really just gonna be two options here that you can reliably find these flights. It's gonna be Air Canada and Cathay Pacific. With Air Canada, you can find a 100% business class flight from Boston to Incheon for only 87,500 points, which is pretty crazy. These flights are worth a lot. With Cathay Pacific, you can generally find the same thing like LA or Boston, New York. They're all basically the same price for 115,000 points. So it's going to be around 30,000 points more expensive if you go with Cathay Pacific. Granted, Cathay Pacific has a lot more availability, but yes, it's going to be a lot more expensive. Now with Air Canada, they like to give you that 87,500 points, but it'll get this little tiny description that just says only 11% in business class. So like your international flight is going to be economy, and just that little transfer layover is going to be business class. So that's a little deceptive. Don't fall for that. Only find the ones that says 100% business class, and then it's 87,500 points for a 100% business class flight. So yeah, like I said, these are pretty rare. I think for Seoul, for LA to Seoul, I've only found it in August 18th of this year, which has 100% business class, and November 5th and November 24th this year have some business class flights as well. So if you're trying to go to Korea this August or November, there are 3 of these flights available. That's how competitive these are. Personally, if I'm going to go to Korea, the motherland, I am going to try to go with Air Canada with points, because that's like saving for 2 people. That'd be saving like 120,000 points compared to Cathay Pacific for 2 round trip flights. So I'm just going to try to fit my schedule around these really rare business class flights. So once again, literally every single credit card company, Amex, Capital One, Chase, built transfers to Air Canada. So yeah, that's how you're gonna transfer your points, and just save up and make sure that the flight is available before transferring your points. It is a one-way street. Those points cannot come back to your credit card portal. So make sure the flight is available. You do not want your points stuck at a certain airline. So that is really it. These are the destinations that I'm always hearing about, and I just thought I'd share with you my findings. So to sum it up, anywhere in Europe is pretty easy to find. Asia is going to be a lot harder, especially Tokyo and Seoul, which I feel like are the 2 biggest destinations right now. For Tokyo, you have to book 360 days in advance. And for Seoul, you just have to trial and error it, go on Air Canada or Cathay Pacific and just try to find all the dates. It's going to take some work, but I think it's pretty worth it in my opinion. So Europe is easy, Asia is pretty hard. But yeah, that's how it goes. In order to book these flights, you're going to actually need a lot of points realistically, especially if you're going to travel with you and your partner. And the best way to do that is going to be with churning sign-up bonuses. So getting that 100,000 points with a gold card, getting that 175,000 points with a platinum card, getting the Venture X card, things like that. And my favorite way to churn points is actually going to be with business credit cards. This is going to be one of the fastest and most reliable ways to get points quickly, because with business credit cards, especially with like Chase, there's a no lifetime language on them, meaning you can get literally multiple of these sign-up bonuses in a single year. So actually my favorite way to earn points is actually going to be with business credit cards. And the reason why these are so lucrative is because credit card companies don't care if you get multiple of these sign-up bonuses in a single year. Most of the time with let's say personal cards, with Amex, you can only get these sign-up bonuses once in your life, or every 7 years or so. And with Chase for the personal credit cards, you can get these sign up bonuses once every 4 years. But literally with business credit cards, you can get these sign up bonuses every single year. And that's why it's so lucrative to get these business credit cards. For example, the Chase Business Inc. card has a sign-up bonus of 75,000 points after spending $6,000 in, let's say, 3 months, I think. And literally in a year, you can probably get 2 of these. And if you have 2 people within your, you and your partner, you can refer each other and you can get the referral bonus and you can get the sign-up bonus. And so between both of you guys, you can potentially get up to like 300,000 Chase points just by getting these ink cards. And so that's why I love business cards. If you want a step-by-step tutorial on how I actually churn these business credit cards, then make sure to check out this video right here. So let me know down in the comments if you guys have any questions about how this works, or if you guys have any specific destinations that you want me to find business class flights for, I'd be more than happy to do so for you. If you also want my method on how I book these flights step by step and how I find these flights, then make sure to also check out this video right here. I'll also make sure to put down all the referral links for both business and personal credit cards so that you guys can start earning these bonuses and earning these points so that you can book these awesome, amazing, super expensive flights that you can definitely afford with credit card points. Once again, these are my friends and family's referral links. Mine are all maxed out thanks to you guys. I super appreciate it, but yeah, it would mean a lot to me, and I'm sure it would mean a lot to my friends and family as well if you use these links. But like I said, make sure to only use them if they're the highest available offer. Don't use them if you only see a low offer on them. But I think all these things, I double checked, they have the highest offer on them. So they are pretty reliable. So yeah, I hope you guys learned a lot from this video. Thank you guys so much for watching to this point, and I will see you guys on the next one. Ooh.